Okay, the time is now 4:14, and I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Rules Committee. A copy of the agenda for this meeting can be found on the county website under the tab for the legislature. Please silence your cell phones and electronic devices. And at this time, I ask that you please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Doreen, would you be kind enough to take the roll, please?
Absolutely. Amo. Fagion.
Here.
Stellar.
Here.
Padu.
Here.
Ramos.
Here.
Rivera.
Here.
Segenga.
Here.
Sutherland.
Here.
7 present, 1.
Okay, so we're going to dive into this. We have quite the agenda. So first, I'd like to invite up our county clerk. I do not. And you got Ed here. Come on up.
Hello, everybody.
Okay. Hi, how are you?
Good.
So we have a request to reclassify 2 existing funded part-time motor vehicle clerks to full-time positions. Funding to come from the existing budget. Legislative request number 150. May I have a motion and a second? Okay. Legislators DeGanga and Padu. Okay. the floor is
Okay.
yours.
So we're here, of course, to ask to do 2 full-time, changing from part-time. As most of you know, the volume has picked up in the Department of Motor Vehicle with the real and the enhanced IDs. We're seeing a large increase in our numbers. Our daily numbers are anywhere from 375 to 485 transactions in the Goshen office alone. Newburgh, around the high 200s. Middletown, close to the Goshen numbers, and Port Jervis, 2-man team there. They're seeing about 150 people. That's a big haul for them out there. So we're looking to get 2 new full-time. Some of the reasons that we're looking for more help is we are starting to get more things handed back to us to do from the Department of Motor Vehicle in Albany. Many of the jobs that we used to send to them to work on, and they would give us the go-ahead to issue something, we have to do it now. So many of those jobs are becoming almost a full-time job for some people in each office. So I do need a little bit more help to take care of the needs that Albany is handing off to me to do at this time.
Anybody have any questions? Yes, Legislator Rebella.
Just wondering, did you have a placement for these new positions? Are they floating or certain location?
They're gonna be in Middletown and in Goshen.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Legislator Feller.
So are we losing 2 part-timers?
We're going to exchange 2 part-time positions for 2 full-time positions.
It's really hard to get a part-time
So
help.
do we have 2 existing part-timers that we're gonna promote, or we don't have them, we're gonna change the title?
We have
to
2.
non-
So we just got a certified list, so we had part-timers that we put in provisional as full-time. Once we reach them, which is going to be really soon, they'll be permanent in their full-time position, and the part-time position will be traded for full-time.
Legislator Padu.
Thank you. I had a discussion with James before the meeting. When I was in there, the place was packed, so I can understand fully what you're talking about, and I'm definitely gonna support it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Legislator DeGanga.
Is 2 gonna be enough? I hate to say that, because like, we try and be as fiscally
Right.
accountable, but we also wanna be responsible and convenient for our residents.
Sure.
So like, is
We will
2
be putting-
enough with you losing those 2 part-timers?
We're gonna put a
or-
request in the new budget for additional hires.
Okay, thank you. I just wanna make sure that, we're not still overworking the ones that are
Right,
there.
that I
We
have,
still don't have
correct.
enough help.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that that plan is hopefully to add some more Jervis as well, since they're short staffed.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna send a part-timer there,
Thank you.
okay?
Any other questions?
Yes, I do. Just want to make a comment here. I mean, in that discussion with James, I talked about, when you place somebody, try to get it nearest to their home if possible. And we had a long discussion about that. I think that's an outstanding trait.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I try to make it easy for each employee to be in an office close to where they live.
Great. Okay, so I'd like to call into question, all in favor? Anyone opposed? So moved. Okay, thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank you so much, everyone. Appreciate your time.
Number 2 on the agenda, we have Carrie Gallagher, our Commissioner of Finance, and Andrea Concanon, the Deputy Commissioner of Finance. Oh. Everybody, okay. Okay, so we have a resolution sending a home rule request to the New York State Legislature seeking enactment of Senate Bill 7630 and Assembly Bill 7461 for a special law extending the 0.75% increase to the sales tax rate beginning December 1st, 2025 and ending November 30th, 2027. Legislative request number 165.
So moved.
Second.
Legislators Segenga and Ranella. Okay, floor is yours.
Sure, so this is step 2 of a 3-step process. We were here, I don't even know, about 2 months ago for step 1. This is just a combined effort between the legislative branch and the county exec's office to ask for this home rule to, again, as stated, extend the 0.75% increase to sales tax.
Anybody have any questions?
Oh, remains, I'm sorry.
Still remaining at total at 8.125. It's just the additional 0.75% we need approval.
Any questions? Thoughts? No? All right, all in favor? Anyone opposed? So moved. So carried. Thank you so much. Okay, number 3 on the agenda, we have our sheriff, Paul Arteta, and we have Evelyn Mallard, our undersheriff, here. Request that the Orange County Legislature send a home rule request to the New York State Legislature to pass proposed legislation for Assembly Bill A6756 and Senate Bill S5726, providing certain death benefits to corrections officers, correction officer sergeants, correction officer lieutenants, correction officer captains, majors, and colonels, assistant wardens, associate wardens, or wardens employed by the County of Orange. Legislative request number 161. May I have a motion, please? Legislators Segenga and Paduk. The floor is yours.
So we have some of our correction officers here from COBA, our COBA president, Eric Colby. Early on, Eric came to me and he said that this was of great importance to his membership, having this death gamble benefit, which provides a benefit to correction officers who, once they pass their years of service where they are qualified to retire, but they stay on further, they still qualify to pull the retirement if in the event that of their death. Currently, they get a benefit of something like a life insurance policy, which is not enough to maintain a family. If they have a family with children going to school, it's not enough to help their spouse or significant other go on through life with the children. And they shouldn't be punished because a lot of the correction officers don't tend to live many, many years after retirement. So this bill, it gives us the ability to retain experienced personnel so that we can train our future generations of correction officers with the best and the brightest people that we have that want to stay with the sheriff's office. It also offers that financial security for their families. And it was originally created for law enforcement, firefighters, and teachers. So it is a great benefit for our folks and their families.
Thank you. I do want to say that this passed overwhelmingly in public safety. Also in public safety, everybody's sponsored. Would you like to do an all sponsor with this or?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Doreen, if you could make note of that, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Yes,
Sure.
Legislator Rivera.
But the other counties not doing this?
our corrections COBA specifically spoke to some of our senators and assembly people to get this put on the agenda up in Albany.
Okay.
Some of the counties may not either know about it or haven't addressed it yet.
Thank you.
Anyone else? I just want to comment, I think this is tremendous, so thank you. I hope everybody, obviously everybody's going to support it, we all sponsored. All right, so I'd like to call the question, all in favor? Anyone opposed? So carried. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, not.
Good luck. Okay, next up, item number 4, we have Alan Sorensen, our Commissioner in the Planning Department, to go over it's an annual review of Orange County Agricultural District number 1. I'd like to make a motion. I'd like somebody to please make a motion for discussion. Legislators Stiganga and Ramos. Okay, the floor is yours.
Thank you. This year, for the open enrollment, we received 2 applications from property owners that wanted to be included in agricultural district number 1. One of the properties is 13.2 acres, has 4 barns, currently boarding 4 horses, and the proposal is to expand that to board 10 horses by the end of the year. The property is on Lakeside Road, and it's 13.2 acres. The second property is in the town of Walk Hill. It's 36.2 acres. It's proposed as farm ag planting research for hemp. It's operating under New York State Department of Ag license number 36-0210, and it's at 345 O'Hare Road, Middletown. All properties have been visited by the Ag and Farmland Protection Board. And it is a recommendation of the Ag and Farmland Protection Board that these 2 properties be admitted and included in agricultural district number 1.
Does anybody have any questions? Comments, thoughts? No? Okay, we actually do not have to vote on this. It's just the presentation. Also, I would like to take note that the public hearing for this will be on June 5th, 2025 at 3:15 p.m. Okay, so thank you for that.
Welcome.
Next, we will ask you to stay. Stacy, I apologize for not acknowledging you when you first sat down. But agenda item number 5, we have Alan Sorensen, our Commissioner of Planning Department, Stacy Butler, our Deputy Commissioner. We have a legislative request legislative approval for the referral of the Orange County Comprehensive Plan 2025 updates to the county and regional planning boards, as well as to the legislative bodies and planning boards of each municipality within the county for review and recommendations according to General Municipal Law 239-D5. The updates include revisions to the comprehensive plan, as well as new supplemental Chapter 1, 2025 Open Space Plan, legislative request number 129.
Make that motion.
Legislators Fagion and Stiganga. Okay, the floor is yours.
Okay. So as you know, the county's comprehensive plan, there's the overall core document, if you will, which is pretty short and succinct. And then attached to that are the supplemental chapters. So the open space plan is currently the 2004 open space plan. So it's been quite a while since it's last been updated. The department, working with the Orange County Land Trusts, but primarily in-house, has updated the county's open space plan. And it has been provided for circulation. So with that, our recommendation is to simply repeal the 2004 plan, replace it with the 2025 open space plan. And I think one of the highlights there are in the 2025 open space plan, we've included a whole sector that really wasn't focused on in the 2004 plan, which was the forest lands. Obviously, a very important part of our open space system. And so there's a sector within the open space plan that's dedicated to that. We've also included what we refer to in the appendices, priority projects. So those are specific projects that are recommended for implementation to further the objectives of the county open space plan. And some of the things that are recommended in their legislature has already taken action on as we've been in the process of developing the plan, and that would include things like the open space fund that the legislature has already put into effect.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions or comments? No. Okay, I'd like to call into question. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So moved. Okay. On to 5B. Request approval for the Orange County Legislature to assume lead agency status under State Environmental Quality Act, (SECRA), with the determination of non-significance, negative declaration, with respect to the 2025 Comprehensive Plan Update, along with the repeal and replacement of Supplemental Chapter 1, 2004 Open Space Plan, the new Supplemental Chapter 1, 2025 Open Space Plan. This is legislative request number 135.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Legislators Fagion and Stiganga.
Okay. Yeah, so procedurally, we need to comply with seeker with the adoption of an amendment to the comprehensive plan. It is a seeker type 1 action. The legislature technically is the only agency that can be lead agency, because you're the legislative body that would is adopting the comprehensive plan. But procedurally, it's always good just to put it out there to the other interested agencies. You'll notice in the open space plan, it's written in a manner where the plan itself is serving as the part 3 of the environmental assessment form. So it's kind of a unique approach that I've used over many years. So there's an opening statement in the open space plan. It talks about compliance with seeker. And then for each of the sectors, there is an analysis of the, in effect, the benefits of implementing the open space plan recommendations in terms of protecting the environment. There is a part 1 and 2 full environmental assessment form that has been prepared, as well as a part 3 EAF. But the open space plan itself does serve as further evidence of the positive environmental impact of adopting the open space plan and the recommendations contained there.
Questions or comments? Okay, let's call into question. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So moved. Okay, on to 5C, a request to set a public hearing pursuant to General Municipal Law, Section 239D6, relative to the proposed amendment to the County Comprehensive Plan, legislative request number 136.
I'll move it. Second.
Legislators Paduk and Fagion.
Okay, public hearing is required prior to adopting the amendments to the comprehensive plan. We will circulate recommend the draft comprehensive plan update and open space plan to all the municipalities in the county. We'll also make sure that it's posted on the planning department webpage so that it's available for the public to review.
Okay, great. And that public hearing is currently set for June 23rd, 2025 at 3:15 p.m. Questions or comments? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So carried.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. On to 5D. Request to apply for a Federal Transit Administration grant, the NISTOC match and the local match for capital costs of contracting with Short Line Transit LLC, including 10% program administration. The total federal amount is $12,194,296. The portion of the New York State grant matching this FTA grant is $1,524,287. The non-cash local match for CCOC in the amount of $1,385,716 will be provided through transit expenses incurred by the operator, and the $138,572 county share of the program administration will be in-kind county workforce. Legislative request number 164.
So moved.
Legislators Stiganga and Ramos.
Okay. I think the bottom line on this, you can see from the structure of this grant that the county share in effect is covered through in-kind county workforce. And the overwhelming cost of providing the capital cost of contracting is borne by the federal government, New York State, and the operator. So it's a pretty cost-effective system for the county, and allows us to continue to provide transportation services.
That's great. Questions or comments? Okay, all in favor? Anyone opposed? So carried. On to 5E1, request that the Orange County Legislature assume lead agency status on an uncoordinated review in compliance with the State Environmental Quality Review Act based on the review of Part 1, 2, and 3 of the Short Environmental Assessment Form, along with a negative declaration of this unlisted action with regard to a request to apply for a FTA grant, the New York State Department of Transportation match, and the local match to purchase 10 cutaway buses. Legislative request 163.
So moved. Second.
Legislators Ramos and Stiganga.
Okay. For this next batch, I'll handle the seeker, and I'll ask Stacy to speak to the actual bus procurement. So for the seeker on these, it's pretty straightforward. We only needed to use the Part 1, 2, and 3 short environmental assessment form because, in fact, it's limited to the purchase of the buses. The seeker language is a little bit obscure when it comes to type 2 action, so we want to err on the side of caution, and so we classified it as an unlisted action. So for example, school buses are listed specifically as a type 2 action, but commuter buses are not. So we just, to err on the side of caution, we treated it as an unlisted action, and that's the reason for this request.
Question, oh, and then Stacy, if you want to handle.
Part 2, this is going to be for the purchase of the 10 cutaway buses. It's fairly self-explanatory with the funding amounts being listed in the
Okay, I just didn't
title
want to
itself.
add anything. Okay,
I don't know if
questions
there's any.
or comments? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So carried. Okay.
Thank you.
We have E2, request authorization to apply for a Federal Transportation Administration grant, the New York State Department of Transportation match and the local match to purchase 10 cutaway buses. The total federal grant amount is $1,454,451, with the federal portion being $1,163,561. The New York State portion being $145,445, and the required local match being $145,445, of which $43,633.50 will be provided by the operator, and $101,811.50 will be required by the county. Legislative request 163.
Second.
Legislators Ramos and Rivera. Okay, it's a mouthful. Go ahead.
I think a similar thing here. I think the bottom line is the county share is really de minimis in the overall. So we're able to secure vast majority of the funding through a federal grant. And the cutaway buses are used primarily for the Valoride services. So. And paratransit.
Okay, great. Questions or comments? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So carried. Okay, we'll go on to F1. Request that the Orange County Legislature assume lead agency status on an uncoordinated review in compliance with the State Environmental Quality Review Act based on the review of Part 1, 2, and 3 of the short environmental assessment form, along with a negative declaration of this unlisted action with regard to a request to purchase 9 replacements and 3 new vehicles supporting fixed route transit operations in Orange County. Legislative request number 156.
Second.
Legislators Stiganga and Rivera.
Okay. Again, very similar to E1 above. This is to ensure that we're in compliance with the seeker requirements to do an environmental review. We classified the procurement of the buses as an unlisted action and determined that the purchase of these buses would not have an adverse impact on the environment.
The 3 new vehicles, what are they?
I'm sorry.
So it talks about the 9 replacements and then the 3 new ones?
Yes, yeah.
Same vehicle, same thing?
Yeah, it's the same
The
style.
same type.
Yes.
Same thing, okay.
Yeah.
Questions or comments? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So moved. We have 5F number 2. Request to amend resolution number 133 of 2020 through a federal transportation grant amendment. $7,200,000 in funds have been reallocated from operating assistance to capital to purchase 9 replacements and 3 new transit vehicles supporting fixed route transit operations in Orange County. They will be 100% federally funded and will not require a county match. Legislative request number 156.
So moved.
Legislators Ramos and Stiganga. Okay.
Okay, on this one, I guess I'll start by thanking my team, Stacy and Martha, for kind of figuring this out. So there was the opportunity, which you see here, to reallocate some operating assistance to capital. So we had more than enough money in the operating assistance line than we could use at that particular time. And so the recommendation was to request, which was approved, to reassign that to capital. So what that allows us to do then is utilize these older funds for the capital purchases, which will then in the near future provide additional capital dollars when we need to purchase additional buses. So it's a very good use of the dollars, and also had the added bonus of resulting in the project being 100% federally funded with no county match.
That is a great job. We appreciate you.
Martha.
Questions or comments? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So carried. I'd like to thank you for spending the afternoon with us. This was quite a marathon. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, and finally, item number 6, we have Kevin Hines, Chairman of the Orange County Legislature. Come on up. 6A, we have a resolution of the Orange County Legislature amending funding allocation criteria for the municipal legislative grant program. Okay, Legislators Duke and Feller.
Okay, so Doreen is handing out some information for all of you. I think most of you have seen it in the caucuses. As you know, we created this program, I guess, in 2022, where we gave every legislator up to $10,000 to hand out to the municipalities that he or she represents. And it actually came to my attention from Legislator Cheney when he said, you know, we're sort of discriminating against some towns, villages, and cities just on the fact that who represents them and how many districts each legislator has. So if you look at the documents that you just got, you'll see the municipal grant program breakdown per municipality for 2025. That tells you by district for currently legislators who, based on your district, how many towns, villages, and cities you represent. And then you'll see that certain legislators have to either skip a town that they represent or a village, or split the number into 3 or maybe even to 4, cutting each town down to 2,500 or 3,333. And then the other document you have is for 2026. Those of you that are going to be here in the next term, you'll see based on the new district numbers, who that will affect and how many legislators it will affect based on the number of municipalities that he or she represents. So that's just information for you. And then when you do the math, you'll know that we set aside $210,000 in the budget, thinking that every legislator would be able to give out $10,000. We know that's not the case. Just at this table, for instance, Genesis can only give out 1 because of the city of Newburgh. And once she does that, that boxes out Kevin Darren Lujan from giving anything out because Levy Benton already does the town of Newburgh and so on. So Joe Menuda, I think, can only give out 1. There's other examples. And then when you look at the flip side, some legislators want to give out 5 because of the number of districts they have. So rather than do 10,000 per legislator, it was actually, like I said, Legislator Cheney's idea. If we just said every municipality is eligible for up to $4,999, that number comes just short of the 5,000, which would require us to enter a contract. That's why the $4,999 is there. That treats every municipality equally, regardless of who their legislator is and how many towns, villages, and cities they have. I think it's a fair way of doing it. I hope you agree with me. The next handout you just got is the number of municipalities in Orange County, and there are 44. However, we looked at it and said we want to treat everybody equally. So when we look at it and say the town of Woodbury and the village of Woodbury are one coterminous community with 2 governments. So we suggest to you that you only give 1 to that community, whether it be the town or the village, and I leave that to the individual legislator that represents them. The same situation happens in the village of Tuxedo with the town of Tuxedo, with the exception of the village of Tuxedo Park. So the suggestion there is to give either the town or the village 1, and then the village of Tuxedo Park would be eligible. And then you have the same situation in the town of Palm Tree with the village of Curious Joel. They are coterminous, and we wouldn't give that community 2, we would give them 1. So that would leave us 41 municipalities and bring us to $205,000 less than our current budget. And every community would be treated equally in my mind. So that's what the proposal is. I'm happy to answer any questions. And I thank Barry for bringing this to my
Yes,
attention.
thank you so much, Legislator Cheney. Okay. Yes.
Just a
Legislator-
comment, as the original proposal for this grant program, I think you've made it so much better by doing this. I think it's a great way to show that everybody's equal. Thank you for the proposal.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I
Yes,
agree.
sir.
Last year I had 3 municipalities, I had to break them down to less than 5.
Right.
People get 5. That's a great idea. Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So carried. And 6B, resolution of the Orange County Legislature awarding grants to various municipalities pursuant to a municipal legislative grant program.
Second.
Legislators Feller and Stiganga.
Okay, so this follows the last presentation. The municipalities all put in their grant requests, And because I expected you all to approve the first part of this, I contacted any legislator, the office did, and said, if you have a municipality that you didn't put in for because of the cap that we had, you're welcome to do that, jump in and do it. And we also, Legislative Council and I looked at everything ahead of time, and we made sure everything was legal. And then, as the prior resolution suggests, I set up a committee, and that consisted of Majority Leader Benton, Minority Leader Paduk, the Rules Chair Janet Sutherland, and Ways and Means Chair Glenn Ellers. And we went through these. Janet wasn't able to make it, but we went through all the requests. Every request that was submitted was approved. No one got denied. Every legislator signed their name saying that that's what they wanted their community to get, and that's what we are proposing to give them. So we didn't deny anybody. Whatever you put in for, you got. Some communities put in for less, so you'll see a lesser number, but almost everyone put in for more than the maximum amount. So we're considering asking you to make these awards to go to the full session.
Yeah, thanks. In that discussion, we talked about some aspects of the program that we may need to look at if you're here next year.
I'm not going to be here.
I know, just in aspects of the program where some of the submissions, I mean, we wanted to treat everybody fairly, but some were for more like maintenance, I think we considered. So maybe we should make some little tweaks to that program, just so that we were more specific in regards to what actually can be, paid for with the municipal grants.
Right, and Legislative Council made a note of all those comments. Currently, the grant is supposed to be written for recreation, senior programs, and public safety. Some people stretched it a bit. We didn't want to deny them at the last minute, so we granted their request. Also, I think the other change would be that some communities that have more than one legislator, they would have more than one line to sign. Currently, one legislator signs for their community. In some instances, based on this chart of 2026, the line should have, all the legislators that represent that community agree to what that community gets. So that would be a suggestion for the next year's term.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, all in favor? Anyone opposed? So carried.
And assuming everybody votes for this at the legislative session, we hope to have the checks out in June, so we can tell your supervisors and mayors accordingly.
Just
As long as Kerry
comment
cuts-
I asked Kevin about this,
Oh, some of them have to get an ACH
Right.
if they line on. Some will get checks. If they're required ACH, they're getting an ACH, and you can call your supervisor or mayor and tell them you're the best.
Okay. That is it. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thanks, everybody.